What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I will be talking about Nene Leakes. She actually created some content on her YouTube channel where she talked about basically not as far along as Bethenny Frankel, who's also a reality TV star. We're going to get into everything that she says, and you all let me know if you think it's just excuses or if she has a point or if you feel a couple of ways about it. Now, before we dig deep, I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video. It will cause YouTube to recommend this video to more people who also watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta, or perhaps they no longer watch it because they're such a fan of Nene Leakes and she's no longer on the show, or other people who have been following Nene's tirades and even legal actions concerning Bravo and NBC Universal. And they just want to hear the latest on what she has to say about the entire thing. So by you hitting the like button, this video will get exposure to more people who are interested in this subject. So I thank you in advance. I thank you on credit. All right. So also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would love to have you. I do try my best to offer a variety of content as we all are not a monolith. We have various interests and life experiences. Okay, we got that squared away. So let's jump right on in. So this very first soundbite I really wanted to share with you all because Nene so vividly describes Bethenny Frankel's estate. It sounds like something magical. And then Nene relates it to herself. And of course, she relates it in a way where she feels like overall she has been shortchanged. But, Bethenny privilege has, afforded her a lot.
She was in the main house, and they took me over to like the guest house, which she calls a cottage. It was a whole nother house, honey. I don't even know how she called it a cottage. I'm like, girl, this is a whole nother house. This is some people whole house. It was upstairs, downstairs. I'm like, this is a whole house. She has apple trees in her yard. She has a trampoline. She has a oh my God, I forget what you call it. Anyway, nonetheless, her place is like crazy. And the crazy part about it, I have to be honest about how I thought. This is what I was thinking. Okay, I think her main house is 10,000 square feet. And then she has another house that's, I don't know how many square feet. And then she has another house, I don't know how many square feet. Now, yes, my house that my husband and I lived in was a 10,000 square foot house. We lived in a neighborhood, not on an estate. I want to just be honest. So as I was pulling through her gates, I started thinking to myself, now we started at the same point, and wow, look at all of this. It was like this cannot be a person that was a reality star. This could not be for real. And not that, reality stars can't make all this money, but it was just sort of like, for me, it was kind of like, I don't know, like, wow, we started in the same place and look where she is. And I, literally have done Broadway, scripted shows, every freaking reality show it is. And I was just, you just can't help but think like, wow, we started at the same point, and she is. It's just, I'll just be honest about how I was thinking, and I really was thinking like, wow, she is so far, and I'm still, working my ass off.
Okay, so Nene was basically describing Bethenny Frankel's estate. It sounds like she's just living upon acres upon acres. She has the main house and she has a guest house, which Nene says, the guest house, the quote unquote cottage, was like your everyday W-2 working American's house. So I'm thinking the cottage was a few thousand feet, so, and I believe that's a blessing to be able to live like that. You live in large, you know what I'm saying? Now, Nene relates it to herself and says, I'm still working my tail off. And, her cottage was, so many square feet. And my husband and our main house was 10,000 feet, and she's where she is and I'm where I'm at. Now, I think that Nene is trying to get you and I to be convinced that she was majorly shortchanged. I have never felt like that. I remember it's been a couple years, but the last time that I Googled her net worth, and I know that those net worth websites, they're not totally credible, but the last time I checked, she was worth $14 million. dollars. It's not like Nene Leakes is your average single Black woman who is educated and may have, 20, 30, 40,000 in student loan debt plus a mortgage. Maybe she's paid off her car and she'll get to drive it for several years, and she contributes to her 401k to save up some money, but she needs her job. Like Nene is not like that average Black woman, nor is she like the Black woman who may not have had the chance to go to college and she is a single parent and she works and she may not be able to own her own home. Like neither one of those very common experiences for Black women. That is not Nene Leakes' experience. She may very well still have a net worth of being a millionaire. She lives in a very affluent suburb in Georgia, and she owns her own home. I believe she hasn't sold the Lanithia Lounge yet, and I'm sure she still has lots of money saved up and hopefully not a lot of debt. So you're still very, very blessed, Nene, is my whole point in walking you through her comparing herself to Bethenny Frankel and almost making it sound like she is so behind and so impoverished. So we're going to get more into, some of her claims. Now, I also want to point out that Bethenny Frankel hasn't just been on reality TV and has had her podcast. You may have very well ordered at the bar or bought at the grocery store Bethenny Frankel's Skinny Girl Margarita. Now, I can remember like being in my 20s and watching the Real Housewives of New York in those early seasons. I remember the cameras would film Bethenny Frankel. She would go to like a New York bar and she would order her Skinny Girl Margarita. Like she would tell the bartender how to make it because it wasn't a thing yet. It wasn't a bottled yet. And she would say, I want a margarita, put so much lime juice, so much vodka. I think there's even a little water in it. I remember because I used to watch the show so much, I kind of knew the ingredients, but she would tell the bartender, give me so much lime juice, so much salt, so much vodka. She gave them the measurements. And in one scene, she said, I'm going to bottle this one day. And now that I think about it, when I look back, literally Bethenny Frankel was manifesting her Skinny Girl Margarita business. And I remember buying it. I've ordered it before at the bar. I was just hella proud of her as like a young adult woman and literally watching her build that product. So that is a huge source for her wealth as well. All right. So in this next soundbite, Nene is aware that some of us may feel like she has done too much in terms of her just expressing what she thinks about the networks. And then she acts so surprised when they won't F with her. So Nene is basically going to speak a little bit about her past tweets and then how she just wants to leave it in the past.
With owning it. And I just want to know, what did I do? I didn't do anything. If only I could share some information with you guys. I just can't. And the reason why I can't is because I don't want to stay stuck in that negative space. I'm in a good place in my life right now. Of course, when all this stuff started happening, I was upset, I was pissed, but time has passed and I can't continue to hold on to all that negative energy. I feel great. I'm doing great. All I want to do is just kind of be at peace and work and do what I love to do, without someone just deciding to have a plan for my life. Like, you can't work, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm not in that circle anymore. So I should be able to just move on with my life and go and work, like anybody else that's in the industry that's working.
Okay, so definitely I want Nene to get opportunities. I know she doesn't just want to live off of her savings. That would be hella scary to use your savings to cover things like your utilities, insurance, groceries. When you do want to treat yourself, entertain yourself, and then you're just watching that savings account balance dwindle, that is no way to live. That's unnecessary stress. So I definitely hope that Nene secures some sort of work. I never understood her not using her YouTube channel. I thought that was the dumbest, silliest business decision or lack thereof ever. She has had well over 100,000 subscribers for at least a few years now. I know because I can remember in 2020 during the pandemic, shout out to the comedian Monique, Nene would entertain us every day. It was her and Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine. Dr. Heavenly, she would go live in the middle of the day. So while I was working from home and this country was completely shut down, Dr. Heavenly would go live for like an hour or two. She would pray and she would talk money and then she would talk about, reality TV, get a little messy. It was a good little balance. Someone even PORN bombed one of Dr. Heavenly's lives. I've talked about it before on other videos. It was the most hilarious thing you will ever see. It was two men, y'all. And Dr. Heavenly, she got to cursing and then she called on Jesus in the same sentence. And we all just hollered. Oh my gosh. But anyway, Dr. Heavenly, she would go live in the daytime. And Nene, by the time I logged out of work, Nene would be live. A lot of times she went live from her YouTube channel. Sometimes it would be Instagram. She went live with Kim Zolciak. She interviewed a therapist. We've seen him on the Real Housewives of Atlanta some seasons back. The one with Claudia Jordan, season 7, when Nene arranged the therapy session and they all turned on Nene. It was the light, like caramel complected black man with the glasses. She's interviewed him during the pandemic. She would just go live, her and Greg, rest in peace to Greg. So she's had the YouTube platform. So when she wasn't on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I didn't understand why she just didn't use her YouTube channel because I know you can make thousands of dollars per month with your number of subscribers, Nene. It just didn't make sense to me. So YouTube is her automatic business partner where she'll be able to cover her utilities and groceries and insurance. And if she chooses to lease cars, people who are very affluent, they may want a new car every couple years. So she may be in that category. She can keep up her beauty regimen and, entertain herself off of her YouTube money. She should totally do that. So I never understood why she didn't. So I'm happy that she decided to create some content today on her YouTube channel, which, by the way, the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary of these sound bites are allowed. And also, everything said here is alleged and an opinion. All right, so in this last soundbite that I wanted to talk about is Nene claiming that, Bethenny Frankel got opportunities like her skinny girl Margarita, but that wasn't the same for Nene. And I totally disagree. I am going to get into my reasons why, but let's go ahead and let Nene talk first.
Very much there's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference. We start at the same place, but we don't end at the same place. Very different. It's very different because I would have to say that Bethenny and I were probably the two biggest players for the Housewives franchise. And she had a great product. Her product did really well. She made a lot of money with that product. Um, I was never really allowed to have like a product or an endorsement deal or a podcast or a talk show. Like when I said I was never like allowed, which sounds so stupid, but whenever those conversations would come to us, and they would be great conversations, they would somehow just disappear. And then maybe months or a year or so go by, and maybe someone reached out for, I don't know, a podcast or a talk show, and we start engaging them again and having really good conversations. And these conversations would go on for a period of time, and then it would go dead silent.
Okay. So Nene was saying that, Bethenny has acquired all this wealth because of her opportunities, like with her skinny girl margarita. But Nene would say that she wouldn't get opportunities. There would be talks, but then the talks would go away. Now, this statement is something that we've heard before. There are the rumors that, Nene had an offer on the table to have a talk show. And allegedly, the rumor is Wendy Williams stopped that bag. Now, it's almost like Nene is kind of averting that rumor from Wendy Williams and trying to put it on Bravo, perhaps. Allegedly, that's just what it kind of sounds. But I do want to remind you all, does anyone remember Nene Leakes' clothing line through the Home Shopping Network? I do. I remember season 7, again, when Claudia Jordan was on there. That was the season that we would see Nene Leakes, and it was giving The Devil Wears Prada, where they showed her meeting with people who worked for HSN, and they had created different looks and were showing them to Nene. And she was saying, I need to make sure that my clothes are stylish but can fit thick girls and is affordable. Nene Leakes had that line. I have 2 cold shoulder tops from the Nene Leakes collection. One is cream and the other one is black. And her cold shoulder tops, like they had almost like a fishtail in the back. They're kind of like long. So like if you got a dunk back there, the top will cover that. And then it's cold shoulder. They're cute and they're comfy. They're soft. I had decided to get them because they were on clearance. And you may think, oh, okay, no big deal. It was on clearance. Well, HSN was kind of like, it was deeper than clearance. I want to say back then, HSN was more so liquidating. Y'all remember also when Nene Leakes, that same season, I believe, or maybe season 8, she made the mistake. Remember, she was doing comedy and she was doing like tours. She was in San Francisco. And she had a heckler, unfortunately, in the audience. The heckler says to Nene Leakes, why don't you unalive yourself? And Nene, she had to fire back. And she says, well, I hope your Uber driver R's you. And she really upset a lot of people. She went live on her Instagram. She was crying. And she did not know that San Francisco was where Uber started. So that was like a double whammy for her. And she felt really bad. On the show, The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you could see her remorse. And the next thing you know, all her clothes with HSN was marked super cheap. And then that was the end of her clothing line. So when she says that she didn't get any opportunities, that's not true. But it's just, after that, we didn't see her do anything else. Like no other reality TV shows like Dancing with the Stars. No more working with Ryan Murphy, who produced the show Glee that she was on. And I don't think we've seen any other clothing lines. What she did, though, after that was open up her swag boutiques. And then we know she opened up the Lenithia Lounge. So she created her own opportunities, which is great. But I just wanted to clarify that it's not totally accurate in my opinion. Of course, I can't speak on somebody else's life, but I just remember that clothing line. So definitely she did have some incredible opportunities. So those were my opinions. Those were the sound bites that I thought were most significant. You all let me know in the comments, what did you think about it? You can search Nene Leaks' channel and check out the video for yourself. Definitely subscribe if you have not already done so. And I thank you all for checking out this video. Thank you so much for your support and kicking it with me. It means so much. I hope you all had a great day today. I went for a walk outside. I was thinking, I was so concerned, like, are we not going to get an Indian summer? And then the temperatures just heated up this week. And I went for a walk immediately after work. And then I went to the gym and I warmed up like some tomato basil soup. You know how you can get the Panera kind if you have Panera where you live at the grocery store. So I heated that up and I put like a piece of pita bread like in the microwave for 20 seconds to have with it. It's pretty nice. So I will talk to y'all tomorrow. It's already hump day. We're almost there. And have a good night. Bye.